sight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by BlackRifleCoffee.com. Where did our child eat yesterday? Where did he go? Where'd you take him? Where do you typically take him? Because I saw a little McDonald's bag out in the car.
That was a couple lunches past.
Yeah, you bet. We probably go there, 4 or 5 times a week? Easily for kids.
For kids.
Yeah.
That's what's so shitty is that I'm like, I'll feed it to him, but I won't touch the stuff.
Well, we can't.
Is that sad?
We can't touch the stuff.
I can't.
And the reason why I bring this up, people are pissed. They're pissed.
Oh, what are they pissed about?
That Clemson won the national title, came to the White House, we're in a government shutdown, and Trump had McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Domino's, every fast food cornucopia laid out for them. To me, I don't know why anybody's pissed about this. To me, that is a fucking dream.
Yeah, that's a peace offering.
That is, oh my God.
That's a smorgasbord. That's a king spread.
When I saw that spread, I got a little choked up. As a college kid, holy shit. Even as an adult, that was my favorite spread I've ever seen.
About?
Every fucking celebrity and media of, oh God, that's disgraceful. They go to the White House, they win the national championship, and you serve them fast food.
Were they into it?
Love it. They're college kids. They had the best time of their life.
Smart.
The kid who won the MVP was just like, dude, don't let the media fucking bring this down. This was awesome.
This was awesome.
Yeah.
This is what we wanted.
And here's the thing for the people at home. You go to these things at the White House or whatever. It's a cook who, it's some Rubicon of cube meats with,
You're
a potato, a dinner roll. No.
You never get full because you're like, oh, I had what I was supposed to have. And you're like, all you want to do is go to McDonald's after.
Exactly. And you never go back to because it's usually set up buffet style at all of this shit, right? And then you never really want to go back.
No,
the food it's good, but it's not great or really fulfilling.
Very cruise ship.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. And to this point, again, because I go to a lot of these I've been to a lot of these fucking things. The Dallas Cowboys, right? The perfect example. They played the New York Giants on a Sunday night game a few weeks back. I was there, and then I had field passes, and I got to eat with the players and the team afterwards. Same buffet, same bullshit, like white tablecloths or whatever. This is Jerry Jones, the richest owner in the NFL. And I'm not bagging on him whatsoever. That's just what all of these things are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you're cooking for masses, it's not going to be amazing.
Yeah, so it's kind of your stock standard, I'll
chicken
say
or beef.
2 pieces of prime rib, and then I'll,
couple roasted potatoes with not the flavor that I wanted them to have.
100%. You got to dunk them in some form of sour cream or butter to try to get them to where you want them.
Can you tell we're on a diet?
Not at all.
Pissed about.
Not even like. Diet aside, I'm trying to set this back for college kids, right? So when I was there, man, after a game, because what time did that shake out? We were probably, I don't even think we sat down to dinner until midnight because the game was at 8. So, 3-hour game, players have to shower. I had to finish off my bar tab, obviously, because that was a big one that night. The Cowboys game. But then you go up there and you're like, all right, sweet. If there was fucking Big Macs and all that shit laid out, it would be amazing.
It would eliminate the having to go out on the way home. If people always served that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Then I'd be good.
And so here's where I have the biggest issue, because every Hollywood celebrity was just like, this is a travesty.
I'm sure.
I can't believe this. The media was like, I can't believe this. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Okay? The Oscars, biggest Hollywood function of the year by far. There is one party after the Oscars that is hosted by Vanity Fair. Every single year they have it. It is the most exclusive party that you could get into, and you can't. It's reserved for like A-list celebrities, right? You know the meal they serve every single year there? Every single year.
What?
In-N-Out burgers and French fries.
Oh my God.
And celebrities go bug fuck. And
nuts. That's all they want.
every single time.
They've been starving themselves to get into the fucking dress.
Correct.
And that's the end of award season, isn't it? So they've gone through all the fucking shit.
Go back and just Google photos of celebrities after the Oscars eating In-N-Out. And you always see them, and the media always fawns over them of like, oh my God, it's so down to earth. How great is this? How refreshing is this?
Very Chrissy Teigen.
Yeah.
Chrissy Teigen has 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Even supermodels have 3 burgers at one sitting.
Yeah, I guarantee you there's a photo of her eating In-N-Out at a Vanity Fair party. Why is it okay for you and not college kids? College kids? Dude, when I was in college, that's all I ate.
Yeah.
It was fucking Big Macs and all that shit. You're telling me it's free and you can take as many as you want? Some players were like, yo, I can just keep eating this? And they were like, keep going. You can have whatever you want. You can take it with you. There was players taking like 7-8 burgers with them.
Was anybody's issue, was it black and white, or was it a lot of black players?
No. It's mixed. The team is a 50-50 mix.
Normal
had nothing
team.
to do with race, nothing. Normal football team.
It was literally just, I don't feel like that's what they...
The media, yeah, and celebrities.
Meanwhile, every picture is them just loving it.
A blast.
All right, well...
Because you're there, look, you go there for these things, and you're there for, 2-3 hours. Because here's what happens. Like, just kind of walking you through a timeline of when you go through... you win a championship and go to the White House. You go there. You typically go on a tour for the morning because nobody's seen the White House. You go and do that whole fucking thing. Somebody points out, oh, and this is where Lincoln slept, and this is where Taft got jacked off
like,
by
I don't care. Where's the Big
by
Mac?
A slave or whatever. Yeah, and you're just like, all right, awesome.
This is where Clinton got the beach.
The beach. This is where the cigar went right into her pussy right here in this place. You do that whole song and dance. And then afterwards, you go, you take some pictures with the president. He gives a little speech, welcomes him to the thing. You're there for like 4 or 5 hours after that. And then you eat. Then you want to sit down and have a meal.
It's like going to a museum.
Walking into there, opening up those double doors and seeing 50,000 burgers stacked to the ceiling from not only that, but it was everything you dream of. McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, Domino's. I mean, all of it across the...
So good right now.
The best ever.
Yeah.
And I can promise you this. If I ever get invited to go to the White House to have dinner with Trump, and we had a couple people on our show who've had dinner with presidents, some of them numerous presidents on Drinking Bros, like Rob and Marcus and those guys. I was like, what's it like? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, what's it like? And they were like, food's all right. I'd rather go to Mastro's or something like that. Or, but it's great. And you're in the White House and you understand. And, you have the stock standard chef and all of that stuff. It's not like, you got Guy Fieri in there, Flavortown in the kitchen.
Getting the real deal.
Yeah. So you go in, you sit there, you have the meal, but it's more about hanging out with the president and shit. I can promise you this. If I got to sit down with DJ T, right?
Yes.
And he said, hey, man, I can either have the chef stay or send out, Secret Service to McDonald's. You can bet your sweet ass I'm getting a double quarter pounder with cheese, extra large fry, and probably just a 6-piece nug because I'm all about that nug life with some honey mustard. Dip that shit in. You can send the chef on home. It'd be cooler for me just to hang out and have a Big Mac with the president. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at.
I don't get fries unless I'm there in the car.
Because you're worried about them not staying hot, and I understand that because you can't reheat them.
You can't reheat them, and they're not quite the same if they're not burning your tongue off.
Yeah.
Because you've tried to eat them too quickly.
But when I saw this story and I saw the backlash to the media, it was just like, oh my God, dude.
Of course.
These are college kids. Like, that is their dream. They all had a blast. What the fuck do you care? Not only that, if it would have been the other way around, let's say he would have, hired out Wolfgang Puck, right? Mm-hmm. And had this fucking huge spread meal. The opposite would have been, the media would have been like, oh my God, You're in a government shutdown and you hired Wolfgang Puck?
Yeah.
You fucker.
Interesting. Yeah.
You can't win.
Can't win
In any of that because he bought the meals himself and did the whole shit. He doesn't even take a salary as the goddamn president, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
You can't do anything right now. I mean, nothing right now. And then CNN right afterwards had a panel on there, and because Trump was, you go through the garden, like I said, he gives a little speech, talks to the players, and he was talking about why McDonald's or why whatever, and he goes, well, it was either that or my wife making little salads for these guys, because they're all huge guys,
right?
They're all the quarterback's 6'6", 240. The linemen are like 300 pounds.
Fucking 5 Big Macs, dude.
Easily, and CNN literally got on right after that statement and said, "This is sexist. This is sexist." Of course,
because he said my wife is. He
would assume that a woman can only make salads for had nothing to do with that. It was an offhanded remark. She probably only eats salads,
or she can only make salad. That's
we only
fine.
eat fucking salads, for Christ's sakes.
Everyone knows. Everyone knows what their wife can and cannot make, right?
Yeah.
They all know the dishes that don't work out.
Right.
And clearly with Melania, the only thing that's worked has been a salad.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
She doesn't look like she cooks anyways.
No. You have a chef there. What does it matter anyways? What does it matter? So when I saw this outrage, because it's been going on all day, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you? Every single thing. And then you go back and forth and on CNN. What? Why is that eating up time out of the Central News Network is what that stands for. How is that news? How is that eating up time out of your day? There was 90 earthquakes yesterday. But this is what you're talking about?
But I don't really want to hear about the earthquakes.
No shit. Yeah, I want to hear about why you're offended over a salad or why somebody can make a salad. Yeah, because, the whole country's under a goddamn earthquake. There was a 4.7 in Maryland yesterday, 4.4 in Oklahoma, 3.4 in San Francisco this morning. That's all over the goddamn planet.
Storm that is going through California, which has never... What?
Joe Rogan got evacuated, I know.
Has never happened before, where it's there's snow in Northern California, there's mudslides, there's weird... earthquake now, but California is under attack.
Yeah. Joe Rogan, he got evacuated, he said.
From the
Malibu.
Mudslides?
Yeah, the mudslides.
Okay.
I guess they're going to wipe out the houses on the side of the mountains. Again, we've talked about this before. It's what happens when you're building in places to be exclusive. I'm not saying Joe Rogan did this. He probably bought the house,
He probably
obviously.
bought the house, yeah.
Yeah. But, it's crazy.
I thought he was Calabasas. He's Malibu.
He's Malibu, I guess. If you're Rogan, why not be Malibu, baby?
It's true.
But I guess the only place you could live is on the beach. If you want to avoid the mudslides, just buy a fucking huge ass place on the beach. He's making $90 million a year off podcasts.
He can't buy a place on the beach?
Yeah, buy a place on the fucking beach. Shit, I got friends that are the top realtors there. Mm-hmm. You know who I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, from college.
Yeah.
Been besties with them for...
They got the Malibu market?
Oh. Well, not only did they get it, they bought the house on the fucking beach.
Oh, yeah.
They bought that, the one that you see in the movies and shit where I'm like,
where the waves go under your bed?
Exactly. That's what it is. So I was like, yo, did you guys get that house? They did. They bought that house.
Wow.
And I was like, all right, cool. They're not, but maybe they're making $90 million a year. I don't know. But Rogan he can plop down 15, 20 or whatever it is to buy that place. Get out of the fires. Get out of the mudslides. That's you're right up against the water. You're good there.
He's more of a mountain guy than a beach guy.
Probably, you're right.
And then also, he has kids that need to go to school. So it's kind of on the beach, trying to get out of there and over
on the PCH?
to... Yeah.
No.
First of all, pulling out.
Yeah,
pulling out of your driveway and then
right.
going that way towards where the schools are. No.
God,
You have to be on that floral part. What's that?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying.
Yes.
The one that goes funnels into Duke's there.
Yeah.
So you need to be up there, Topanga or whatever it's called.
It's funny you say that. So one of my former friends who produced The New Guy, he lived up there.
Former friend.
Yeah.
Jessie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a whole fucking story. I can promise you this. When the real money hits, like the fuck you money hits, me and you are just going to sit back, pop open fucking 19 bottles of wine and do like a 6-hour show. And I will go through everybody.
Out all the people.
Yeah. And not for like sexual shit either. Just, hey man, here's why this person was an asshole. This person was an asshole. This person was an asshole. Okay. And really lay it down of like, I could go through a trail of tears of why everything has happened to people and all of that shit. It's not going to be today. And we don't have that fuck you money today.
Not yet, but.
Not yet. Getting there.
Getting there.
Day by day. You know, a couple of silver spoons.
Day by day. Yep. A couple of salty spoons. Who called me salty?
Somebody called you salty in the comments section. All our video shows are on YouTube. No, yeah. I like it when you're salty, though.
And you're right. Maybe I do need to get out of the house or get some sleep or have a different life. But I am salty sometimes. It's those rich bitches that make me salty, right?
Oh, yeah. Like DJ Mad March.
That's DJ. We talked about it last show where I don't want to hear about a rich lady fulfilling her dreams.
No.
That doesn't fucking do it for me.
No.
I realize that's why I don't like The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, which everyone fucking dies over. I'm in the minority, right? But I don't like seeing super rich people follow their dreams. That's not a story that fucking gets me off.
Sure.
Right?
No, I'm with you.
I'm super rich. I have this huge apartment. Maybe I should try stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Cool. And now I'm like on that ride with you where
because somebody's
you have a
watching,
safety net.
Well, not only that, but somebody's watching her kids.
Oh, yeah. Her parents
all day long,
in the nice ass apartment.
Yeah. Yeah. In New York City.
So the struggle for me is not there.
Right.
Of like the obstacles you need to overcome. And that's with everything. These fucking rich ass mom bloggers.
Yeah, the ones.
Don't tell me how to raise my kids.
The people I look up to in this world are always the ones who did it themselves, where it's just like, all right, like that woman who created Spanx or fucking J.K. Rowling.
Door to door, had nothing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like got a divorce and was like a single mom with nothing and learned how to get herself. And now she's fucking millionaire or whatever. That kind of shit I want to hear about.
Same.
Everything else, like, it's like a movie with no conflict. Nobody wants to see him just fucking fall in love and then get married.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay.
Life without conflict is fucking boring.
Yeah.
And you're boring.
That's what they say to those kids over in those diamond mines in Africa. You know, life without conflict is boring.
Is boring.
So you give me the diamonds. Yeah. You give me the diamonds, those
and
conflict diamonds.
It. Yeah. They get it too.
Yeah.
And that's a story I want to hear.
Yeah. I want to hear about those conflict diamonds.
I want to see Leonardo DiCaprio just
chop a little kid's hand off.
Yeah, macheting his way through that. That's what I want. Maybe I just, I don't really like women, do I? I'm joking. I do.
You don't.
I do, but I don't like dumb bitches.
You got a fun little hat on today, James. Not a lot of people can. If you're watching the video show, you can see James' fun hat.
Why is it a fun hat? It's just a beanie.
It's a fun little beanie.
It's a little cold in our studio. It's a little cold out here.
It's cold. Yeah, it's cold out here. It's not going to be as cold as it is this weekend. Holy shit.
Maybe I'm just like, I'm preparing myself for your trip.
For my trip. I know. We had on the Drinkin' Bros Sports Show, which is every Wednesday, obviously the sister show that I host. We had Kelly Stewart from CBS on to make the picks for the weekend. She happens to be from Kansas City, grew up there, went to college there, and said, "Hey, bro, you're going to freeze your ass off. You've got to prepare." And I was like, "What do you mean prepare?"
Did you not think you were going to have to prepare?
Not to this level. Because she was like, "Hey, I don't really think you understand. Like, you need to go to a fucking," and she says this on the show. You need to go to a Bass Pro Shops and get all of the shit. So after the show, I panicked because you edit all of these shows. By the way, you're a lot more talented than we joke about because you do all the sound editing and all the shit for these shows, and all the video editing as well. And I was like, we don't have a Bass Pro Shops here. What the fuck am I going to do? So I went to Amazon and I was like, Amazon's probably got this shit. They do. And their keywords, like, because I'm a keyword king. I'm really good at that. Keywords are masters, and like I found all of the shit.
I like that label, Keyword King.
Yeah. That you could find it at Bass Pro Shops pretty quick, and it's getting here. It'll be here by Friday because I'm not flying out till early Saturday morning.
Better get here.
Yeah, exactly. But look, Amazon doesn't really miss.
Yeah, you can really count on them.
So it'll be here, and I think I am prepared for that cold. Because again, I was telling her, I was like, man, I'm at Ohio State games. Those November games, like Michigan games, were brutal. But I want to say I think the coldest I've been in was like maybe 15. And Army Navy was cold. It was like 26 when we got there, and I think it got down to 15. But the wind chill was brutal. I don't think there's any wind on Saturday, but the game time high right now is still at 4 degrees. So, and there was a drinking bro who said, "Hey man, I've got sweet tickets. I'll give you these sweet tickets. Don't worry about it." And that's a big ask for a game like this because that city's going to go bug fuck if they win because they're going to Super Bowl, obviously.
Right.
I haven't heard back, and I'm like, oh no, because we always get great seats anyways. Typically,
you still haven't heard back
from the sweet guy.
Oh, no.
But because I have tickets already, obviously.
No,
and I have great tickets. So if it wasn't freezing, you would want to be sitting where I'm sitting.
Totally.
But for this game, I'm like, hey.
So did you get the mask?
That's what I got.
Thing?
That's what I got. Yes.
Yeah, because that's the bitch of it. I mean, your eyes are even going to be. You're going to want to cover that up too.
Correct. And I got one of those
earmuffs.
Yeah. So it looks like I look like a GI Joe soldier. One of those. It's a full face. Get up. Some type of Navy SEAL looking thing that I've got. And then, because I was like, all right, well, I can't just walk around like that all day because that'll frighten people.
Sure.
It looks like I look like I'm sticking up a fucking 7-Eleven with this goddamn thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm
So what I did order, I was like, man, what can I do to make this at least like comical? Because we still have to shoot a show. We're doing a live show outside the stadium. I was like, what can I do to make this comical? I ordered the hat from Christmas Vacation that Eddie wears.
Okay,
that beaver.
Flapper up. Yeah, I love those.
Because they're super warm.
Yeah,
But it's also it'll take the disarming look of this ruthless black mask that I've got that looks like I'm going to break into a neighbor's house or something.
Right.
At least it'll disarm people enough of like, oh, that guy's probably pretty cool, but he's just freezing his dick off.
Gloves.
I got the mask.
Face.
Yeah. We've got I've always had those North Face jackets, and the one that I'm wearing.
Long Johns?
Yeah, I ordered those.
Okay.
So all of it, look, I got your thermo starter kit for right around $100. All of this shit combined. And I was like, all right, great.
So uncomfortable though, because you're just like, where do you, like when you have to pee or like.
That's the bitch of it.
It's just so much.
Yeah. That's the bitch of it.
Happy I'm not going. So happy.
The bitch of it is peeing. I will say, look, I'm drinking a lot of whiskey that day to stay warm.
Sure.
And that's going to be all day.
And that's going to go through you.
Oh, boy. So I'm excited to go because this is the game I've been waiting for. I've already seen the other game, and it's
the stadium pal.
Boy, yeah, it's going to be, look, the fans are going to be it'll be crazy across the board. So I'm amped about it. But that cold factor where you're just like, oh.
Do you know what a stadium pal is?
No, what's that?
It's like it's something you put on your penis, and it funnels into a bag, so you don't ever have to.
Is it a
stadium
do I have to
pal.
put it? Do I have to put it inside my pee hole or?
No, it's not like full catheter. It's more like funnel.
All right, yeah. I'm not going
so you don't
that
have
route.
to,
I'm not that bad.
Get out of your seat and like go up to the thing,
right.
and you literally just.
Life isn't that bad. I'm not gonna.
If you see anyone using
pal
a stadium pal, please let me know.
Yeah, I don't think they would cop to it.
I think you just see it, right? Like you have to do.
I don't know.
Put the funnel. Look.
I don't know, but it could be one of those binocular whiskey days where you buy the fake binoculars that just and then you pour the whiskey in. Yeah. I used to rock that in a Boda bag. You know those old school Boda bags, you know?
Yeah.
I used to really Slim Jimmy those things up. Full of whiskey. Because let's face it, I don't know if they're going to be selling whiskey inside the stadium.
No, do they?
I don't think so. I mean, most stadiums come with bars up in the club level, but it doesn't appear that they have that there.
Right.
The whole rowdiness of KC and Arrowhead is like, man, we sit outside and we fucking love this shit. We're in the cold. Fuck you. It's very Packers-like from what I've heard.
Okay.
And if we're going that route, all right, great. It might be Bodebag, James. Might be Bodebag. The only thing I dislike about... Have you ever drank out of a Bodebag?
No, is that like the furry looking one?
It looks, it's kind of like a leathery...
Yeah.
It looks like a kangaroo pouch thing. The only thing I dislike about that is whatever taste is inside of there is in your whiskey.
You can't clean that thing out.
No, you can't.
Gross, dude.
Yeah.
No,
it's a churn and burn thing.
Get some little airplane things or something.
Airplane bottles, I will.
Yeah.
I will. You usually stuff the socks with those. I got the thermal socks, by the way.
Okay.
So
I think you're going to be okay. The only thing that'll be cold is your eyeballs.
Yeah.
And that'll really bother
That'll be
you.
the only thing you see.
That's what I mean. What'd you say in my balls?
No,
the only thing I'll
said,
have out is my eyeballs and my balls.
Yeah. No, I'll take a picture, but that'll be the only thing you see on me is probably my eyeballs.
Yeah. And they'll be freezing cold.
Yeah.
Watering,
but I'm going full Cousin Eddie for with
and then there's going to be some
shit.
Motherfuckers there, the guys that are from there, whoever's shirtless, being like, you fucking pussy. Yeah. You're just like, I'm good. I'll be a pussy.
Yeah.
It's fine. That whole thing. Wow, what? What's this is warm?
Yeah.
I'm from blah, blah, blah. This is warm. That bullshit.
That cold hasn't even kicked in yet.
Oh, man. Are you kidding? This isn't cold. Shut up. You are cold.
After the Army-Navy game, I went back to the hotel. I called you, and I was like, I'm hopping in the shower. I hopped in the shower like it was the crying game, where I was just...
Oh, yeah. And you still couldn't get warm.
Like I was Elizabeth Shue in Leaving Las Vegas in that one scene where you're just like...
Elizabeth Shue,
yeah, where you're just on the crumpled up.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm a prickly pear.
Oof.
I'm a prickly pear.
Boy. And just let that hot water run in your bodies and like this.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see what KC has, what they got going on. I've never been there when I was thinking about it. I was like, man, I've driven through Missouri, but multiple times, but I don't think
I heard it's sweet. I wouldn't want to do it in that weather.
There's a snowstorm on Saturday.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it in that weather, but I heard it's like a fucking sweet town, sweet city.
Yeah, and we've already gotten some cool messages about people saying, hey, man, you got to go to this barbecue place. You got to go to this thing from the listeners. So Saturday nights, we are going out with H Factor Water.
Nice.
Which will be one of our new sponsors coming up. You'll see it on Jabel's desk. Love their fucking water. We're going out to a dinner somewhere. I think Kansas City is known for their steakhouses. You watch all of those shows. Is that...
Sounds right.
Oh, come on.
I don't know. Yeah.
Aren't they known for some type of
sure
like
they're
beef
known
cuts?
For something, yeah.
Beef tips.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Just the tip.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah. Yo, is your computer working today?
Let me see if it's working while you do the sponsors.
While you look it up, I'm going to do the sponsors, shall we? First and foremost, we got blackriflecoffee.com. A little BRCC is going to keep you warm during the cold times. Half the country is under a snowstorm. You need to heat up. Go out and get some Black Rifle Coffee from blackriflecoffee.com. Best coffee in the biz. Made with the hands of veterans. Each of it is individually packaged for you. We got some for the Wilmington Fire Department here.
Yes.
I ordered a bunch of bags from them. We use our own promo code. I got no shame about that.
Because you know what I heard? Just, I guess everyone who's a firefighter knows this, but they actually, in order to get food and coffee and stuff for their firehouse, they take it, everyone puts into a pot from their salary. So like when you see them shopping at the store, they'll bring the fire truck there and they'll kind of load up on groceries. Yeah. People have accosted them before. There's videos of people going up to them being like, you're on our dime shopping, blah, blah, blah. Like they actually pay for that food. Yeah. Any food that they have And they're there all the time. So they need to have food and coffee there. It's just kind of shitty. It's not like they get paid that much anyways.
It's fucking crazy.
It's fucking crazy. But anyways.
Yeah. Anyways, we gave bought a bunch for Wilmington fire departments. And look, man, if you see any person or any first responder out there, get them a bag of Black Rifle. Those guys, all they live off of is coffee every day. And and they're doing the work that the rest of us won't do. So,
and they're drinking Folgers because it's coming out of their fucking
budget
pay.
Yeah.
So
let's get them some good coffee. Go to blackriflecoffee.com. Use the promo code REVOLUTION for 20% off. Next up, we get ghostbed.com/drinking bros. This is our own landing page. It is for drinking bros. It is for Ross Patterson Revolution. Lay your balls down and relax them on a ghost bed. Ghostbed.com/drinking bros is giving you the best deals. They kept it in place. $7.99 off the bundle package. The adjustable base, that Ghost Luxe bed is the jam, dude. Is the absolute fucking jam. USB ports, flashlights, all that shit are built inside the adjustable base. All of this. Look, if you're like me and you're unhandy, that's what I call myself. You just open up the box and set it open. You're good to go. The mattress comes in a box. The adjustable base comes in a box. No assembly required. Boom. You're ready to go and enjoy a nice night's sleep in 2 hours. Why? Because the mattress has got to pop up. It's got to fluff up. You know? And that's the way to go these days. I thought about all this times. Remember we used to go to a mattress store and you pick out a mattress and then
to deal with that dude.
God. And they're always trying to upsell you on some stupid shit. And then it's like, well, in your area, you can deliver it in 72 hours.
You know what I could do? We just got this new one and it's like the oldest.
Yeah. Fuck them.
Bullshit.
I'm happy that shit's all done. Go to ghostbed.com/drinking bros. Get yourself a real mattress. It's cheaper too than going to those fucking stores. And they get a pay-as-you-go plan, 36 months, no interest. No one does that. No one in your town does that. No one does that. Ghostbed.com/drinking bros does that. Go there. Get a mattress. By the way, I want to interject. Somebody had a stat here from 2014, just to show you how long this bullshit has been going on with the Vanity Fair Oscar party. 1,424 burgers were eaten at the In-N-Out's Vanity Fair party.
That sounds so good.
I know. Now switch it to the White House. If you're a college kid playing football, you know how fucking awesome that would be. That's my dream. That's my dream room to walk into now.
It's just making me really hungry.
Well, it's making us all hungry. Kill that hunger with a little strikeforceenergy.com.
True.
That's right. Fill up that belly full of energy drink.
Come on, fill a belly.
And fill it. Choo choo. Original, orange, lemon, make America grape again, and a ridge. They got 4 amazing flavors. If you're on a diet at this time of year like everybody else in America is, you crash in the afternoons because you're not eating shit. You're not getting carbs or sugars anymore. This doesn't have carbs and sugars, and it's got energy, and it goes into waters and LaCroix and anything else you're trying to do to make your stomach expand so you're not eating or drinking your face off all day. Go to strikeforceenergy.com. 10-pack, 40-pack, 750-milliliter bottle. Now's that time for the subscription of the month club, though. I can tell you that. Promo code REVOLUTION, 20% off. That's good every time, and they ship everywhere in the entire world. Last but not least, this is what you came for. This is why you're here. StraightRazors.com.
Ooh, that's a clean cut. Smooth. Oh, you like it?
Oh, boy.
Do you like it?
I love it.
You rub it?
I like it and I rub it.
Oh, you like it spicy?
Boy?
You like a spicy boy? You like rye? That's rice.
I like a nice shave, and I get a nice shave at straightrazors.com. Finest razors in the business. No Gillettes anymore. Stupid motherfuckers.
Nobody's on board with that shit.
No.
They really missed the mark.
God damn it.
I thought at least some fucking crazy
if
liberals
they'll
would be
pull
into it.
I wonder if they'll pull it now from the Super Bowl.
I mean,
It's an
even
expensive spot.
Today's Show was like,
No.
And they're the ones that, like, because of Megyn Kelly are like, on board with all the stuff. Yeah. And they were like, nah.
No, we're good on that one.
We don't like it.
Instead, go to straightrazors.com. Buy a real product who don't think men are assholes every 2 seconds out of the day.
They're just not all assholes.
It's fucking ridiculous, man. There's a lot of fucking crazy women out there. Shit, you did a story about a woman drinking wine out of a Pringles can yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you going to do? The female version of that? And just say, women, you can do better. Stop drinking wine out of Pringles cans at Walmart. I don't give a fuck that she's doing that. Jesus Christ. StraightRazors.com's got, the mustache is gone. I shaved off the mustache yesterday.
I like it. I like it both ways. Yeah. I can't.
Look, I'm a man who can pull off many, many looks, and I feel very blessed. Very blessed,
and
James.
That is what happens every time you try and pay him a compliment. He turns it around and one-ups you with his own compliment to himself.
It's true.
Anytime I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I know, right? I am pretty awesome. You know what else I can do?
No.
Yep, every time. You never just
I would say 90% of the time. Like, there's 10% I give you. You know, I give you just enough so that you keep coming back.
Just enough what?
Stockholm. Stockholm you with compliments. Yeah.
Just enough chain.
Which we're going to get to that in a second. Go to straightrazors.com. Use the promo code REVOLUTION for 20% off. As always, you can buy my books. At night she cries while he rides his steed. When darkness falls, he doesn't catch it. Funniest books ever written. Funniest audiobooks of all time. When darkness falls, number one on Audible. Still, buy that shit. You and I voice it to back it up, to keeping you on a tight leash. Man, I read the report from that Wisconsin chick.
Yeah, it's the real deal.
Fuck,
it's the real deal.
I was again. By the way, I was with you because it really is hard to believe that this would happen. You just don't think this would happen to people.
No, and now it's like when you're forced to realize that there are people that the idea of a consequence just doesn't even enter their brain. Like when they're thinking about going into the house, like he attempted to do this 3 times before he actually got the nerve to do it.
Right.
So you picture this guy at your door around your house and just not having the nerve, getting back into his truck, doing it. Like when you're forced to think about that, like now I'm sleeping, like thinking, because I have young features, someone could, see me in the driveway and think that they can come sex traffic me. Yeah. No, I'm really, I'm always worried about being sex trafficked.
You are? That's one of your top fears.
And you're always like, you don't really need to worry about it. And I'm like, no. And you're like, okay, fine. You kind of go along with it.
I do worry about it.
You kind of go along with it.
Every single second
worried
of the
about
day.
this cruise coming up.
You're going.
Drinking, bro. I know, but I could be sex trafficked. So I need you guys to look out for me.
In Cozumel?
No, yeah, nobody's going to be looking out for me.
It's only got one stop, too.
Yeah.
Like, to Cozumel. What?
I'm going to be like, okay, I'm here.
I'm here, everybody.
I'm here. Don't sex traffic me.
I've had too many pina coladas.
Hey, I'm a little bit, I'm tired. I went for a run. Right? Just like, I'm lost. Yeah. I like doing that.
Yeah.
In the forest.
Yeah.
I'm so exhausted. Just so I can catch a killer.
Not gonna happen, by the way. I don't think that's in the cards for you.
It's not. That's why I keep running.
There's a place in New Orleans where you can go see dead bodies. I just had a convo about this. So if you want to go, I got the place.
I don't want to just see them.
Why not?
I want it to be a thing where this is what I want to happen is I want to be running, which I always do, and look to the side.
Yeah. And I
want to look through the things and be like, is it? Huh? And then be the one that's like calls for my cell phone.
Sure.
Being like, I see this. I have a skull here.
Yeah.
Oh, runner in Wilmington. They'll just call me a runner. They won't say my name.
Jogger.
I'll be running. I run.
Yeah, but they'll call you a jogger.
They will call me a jogger.
They don't call anybody a runner on TV because that sounds weird, like you were fleeing the scene.
A runner.
Yeah. Oh, we got a runner. And we got a runner. No.
Maybe a jogger.
Yeah, she was jogging.
Okay.
She was out for her morning jog after she dropped her child off at school. And that's when she discovered 56-year-old man Pedro Amaro.
And that will be the first time that I call 911.
You've never called 911?
No. I was thinking about that the other day.
Huh.
I have never called 911.
Oof.
I've been there when like my mom calls and stuff, like when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But I've never actually had to.
This Wisconsin thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they had the 911 calls for that where it was just like, I mean, she named off the dude and all that other shit. Fucking frightening. Where you're just...
Frightening because then you're saved and your parents aren't even alive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, poor thing. And I didn't mean to speculate in that way, but it's so hard to think about someone not thinking about that consequence and really in broad daylight going in, killing 2 people and taking a girl.
Yeah.
With your own truck, with no disguise, nothing. I mean, that is so insane to me that it's hard to think that before you think the other, right?
Right.
Because too many times that's happened as well.
Yeah.
The boyfriend covers for the girl for a while, and then once he's in jail, he tells the truth. So, but this is not that case.
I know.
Apparently.
And that these are the cases that I have the biggest, I guess, the hardest time trying to mentally accept, because you look at the Vegas shooting, right? When there's no motive, like not a clear motive of like, all right, you know, because I read that report from this guy who has my last name, by the way, which is creepy.
Yeah, I know.
Ugh, that's never a good one.
Never a good one.
Luckily,
not related.
He's not attractive at all. So yeah, not one person's hit me up of like, oh, he's super attractive like you are. This is definitely your relative or cousin. It's like, no, it's not. So I have that going for me, which is not early Balder. This kid, and that's obviously weighing on him.
That was a transition lens as well.
Yeah.
That he had on.
But you know, when you see shit like this, and again the Vegas shooting, when there's not a clear motive, where you're like, oh man, you weren't plotting this out for months or whatever it was, you're just like, God damn it, man. Because I refuse, not refuse. I mean, I have to accept it, I guess, but I refuse to believe initially when I hear these reports that there isn't some underlying deep-seated factor.
It's very, very rare. The percentage of killings in that way, people that murder like that don't know them, do you know what I mean?
Right.
In some way, is very low. It's always, it's usually someone, unless it's a robbery gone bad, something like that.
Sure.
Very rare is it someone that you don't know or that they're not connected to in some way. It's always the husband, always the wife, whatever. Because the randomness of that is just too insane.
Yeah.
It's just too insane.
Yeah, that was a hard one for me, because I know we had touched on it on the show a couple episodes back, and then we didn't know the story. It had just broken at that point.
Yeah, and I did want to apologize for that. I mean,
not at all. I mean, look, that's where my mind went as well.
Yeah, but it was so horrible that that's it.
Yeah,
it was just that horrible, and my mind surprisingly couldn't go there. Of like, it really was that, like, someone could just be casing the joint. Again, for me, young features.
Yeah.
Right? You're just like, is someone... Because we always think that. Our moms always joke about it, where we're like, we watch this stuff too much. Dateline 2020, where we're like, they're outside the house. They're casing the joint.
Yeah.
And they're going to come in and kill me. For what? Why, though?
Yeah. I mean, look... You never know, James.
You never know.
You never know in this life what's going to happen to you.
Yeah. So if you guys do on the cruise, I'm going to need some help. I just please watch out for me and the sex trafficking.
Yeah.
Make sure I'm safe.
You're real worried about that.
I'm really worried about that. And you guys just make sure I'm safe.
Yeah.
There's all these like 20-year-old girls there. They're like, if they're going to sex traffic anyone, it's
Probably. Yeah.
Them, not you.
Yeah. Boy. I feel like I can spot crazy too.
What do you mean?
I feel like I can. Like with that guy who got caught, just didn't look crazy. Did you see him in court and all that shit? He just was just like this, just kind of motionless and just
He didn't look like your typical...
He didn't have those Ocasio-Cortez eyes.
No.
Just like,
and he was 21.
what the fuck?
So you're like, you haven't had the years of like the grizzled pedophile, right?
Yeah.
Like he's 21.
No. I don't know what to think about that. You know, at 21 years old,
you can't wrap your head around it.
No.
If you're able to wrap your head around it,
it's
you've got
really
an
hard
issue.
because at 21 years old, like that, you should be having the best time of your life, not doing whatever the fuck it is you're doing.
What happened to you?
Well, here's the thing: his parents were in court, and this
Did they seem normal?
His dad was crying, weeping. He could not believe that his son had done this. He couldn't believe it.
How could you not believe it?
That's the other part about this. Because you watch these things all the time, and so do I, where, you know, I look at that Sandy Hook kid, right? Mm-hmm. He's so fucking weird.
Yeah, yeah.
Where...
You're like, yeah, okay.
Exactly. Where
right.
Where you're like, all right, cool. How did the mom not see what a fucking weirdo that kid was and have him put somewhere, you know, in some mental thing or, you know.
Do you mean the Parkland?
No.
Oh, Sandy Hook.
Sandy Hook.
Okay.
I think his name was Adam Lanza was his name. He killed his mom and then he went to Sandy Hook and then killed all those kids. He was so fucking weird. And then, you know, they released all that shit, by the way. And it was like pages of all this weird shit that he'd been writing for years or whatever. It's like, I mean, you're not going in as a parent and checking out the room and all this other stuff. Now this, like this detailed 6-page thing that came up about this Wisconsin guy, if that was all you had, you know, and like this, like, again, that kid didn't look crazy. It just looked like a fucking...
Like a weirdo, like a spectrum kid.
Yeah, like a normal, like your normal weirdo, but like the other kid looked fucking weird. And it was just like, man, how are you as a parent not going through checking shit of like, hey, what do you got in there? What are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Having 2 kids now, like...
If my kid's weird, like, having 2 kids now, if my kid's weird on the way to school, I'm like, hey, what's wrong?
What's going on?
What's your problem? What's going on? Are you sick? Do you need to, what's the thing? And, you know.
Yes.
So if he was like that every single day, I would take him somewhere and be like, hey.
Right.
We got to go see a psychologist or something. So I don't know.
And I think as parents, you want to just, there's a thing of normalizing things and being like, oh, well, it's just a teenager.
Yeah.
Or because you don't, so hard for parents to admit that their kids are pieces of shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And you notice that. Even in a preschool.
But I got
there's parents that won't admit that are just...
I got some real ones, though. Like,
he's so silly.
Yeah.
No, he's a fucking dick, and he's biting, and he has problems. Oh, he's just so spirited.
No, he's biting people.
He's biting.
Yeah.
Not okay.
Yeah. I've had some parents, though, who are just like, look, man, I apologize. My kid's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, I've definitely had some. Definitely had some, too. You're right.
And I appreciate it.
But they're usually not that bad. The ones that are like, oh, I'm so sorry for my kid. It's like I'll say that about Jack sometimes, where I'm just like, sorry, he's being crazy. And they're like, he's fine. I mean, he's fine, but
right.
You know what I mean?
There was one in particular where 2 parents grabbed me afterwards and they were like, hey, our kid's a fucking nightmare. We know it. And I was like, oh,
stop.
Yeah. And I knew it. Everybody knew it. And I was just like, hey, I appreciate you recognizing that. You know? And they said, look, we try to get him in as many social functions as we can, and hopefully he'll get out of being an asshole. But
yeah, well, them being aware, I think he'll be okay.
I think
them being aware at that age.
Yeah.
It's when they're turning the blind eye, even at that age, when they get is when they get to be 21 and kill someone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you have to admit to yourself when your child is a nightmare.
Yeah. The other portion of that is I've talked to some people whose kids are grown up, and they're like, man, that third one is an asshole.
Sure.
And you're just like, oh, all right,
sure,
cool. I guess, you know. I wonder what point you can reconcile that in your brain where you say to yourself, fuck, they're grown ups now. You know,
I've done all I can.
I did all I can. That dude's a fucking asshole.
Cool.
Nothing I can do. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm my favorite in my family. My parents' favorite.
I can see that for sure.
Because
you're one of 3.
I'm one of 3.
Yeah.
And I'm just the best one. And I do keep the most contact with them. I visit them every year. Like I try and keep us together family-wise, and I'm just really fun and funny and cool and successful. And so they obviously love me the most.
Right.
And the other two are great. You know what I mean? There's not like one asshole in the group, but they're definitely not as good as me.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And it's an unspoken thing. It's kind of like they never say it, but I just know it. And so do they. You know, it's a thing. You could just see.
They never say it.
They don't.
They've never said it.
That I'm their favorite?
Yeah, I figure they would.
Maybe if I cornered them and like made them say it. I'm like, gun to head, mom.
Yeah.
Right? And then I put a gun to her head. I bet she would say it.
I bet she would.
Yeah. Gun to her head?
I don't even know if you needed the gun, to be honest with you.
Just ask her. She's like, yes.
Both of them. I think if you sat down and asked both your parents in front of all of them who your favorite is, I bet you both your parents would say it's you.
No.
It's you.
I'm sort of joking. Do you think that we're going to be able to admit?
Yes, I will be. For 100%. 100%.
You're already having issues.
No, but I think because you have to be honest with yourself, and like you're also not going to know what your children are going to turn out to be until later on in life.
I think they're going to be different.
As far as drives and all that other shit, I have no idea. But again, you're not going to know that. It's like judging a president. You're not going to know for 15 years if they were really any good. So like you got to put it in the same perspective in terms where you're like, all right, give them a chance to grow up and see what happens to them.
Right.
Like I was a little troublemaking asshole probably as a kid. Mm-hmm. Always cutting up in class, telling jokes and all that other stuff. And
that was a pretty good indicator. Like they could have probably but
I parlayed that into a nice life.
Right, you just didn't change. You don't change.
No.
Yeah.
But
see what you're gonna do with it.
I'm not in school. Yeah, I'm not in school anymore. James, I want to get into this keeps popping up.
Ribs, by the way, have some ribs in Kansas City.
Oh, there we go. Is that the big?
That's what.
The barbecue place was called. That was it. They were like
Kansas City ribs. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I think that. Yeah, that rub, that Kansas City rub, that rub. Yeah, I'll go out and get some ribs Saturday night. Why not?
Okay, so what's up?
Everybody asks. I've asked it on Drinking Bros and on our show. Can you please do a full show and dedicate it to aliens? And this keeps popping up, James. It keeps happening. I know you're a denier. This I cannot explain today. Did you see the thing in Maine? Everybody's been sending this into the show. Did you see the fucking thing in Maine? Yes or no?
No.
Come on. So
no, I didn't. What do you want me to lie?
There is a circular ice sheet in the middle of, it looks like a crop circle, right? In the middle of this pond. I'm gonna fucking just physically pick up my computer.
No, just what is it?
And show this to you. No, I'm gonna fucking show it to you. For the video show, if you can see it, I'm gonna just fucking show it to you.
Fake. Okay.
It's not fake. It's still there. And it's spinning. Just close my computer on myself. Your whelks.
Can you just, what is
Your
it?
Whelks.
Where is it?
It's in Maine.
Maine.
It'll take you too long to find this. Either way, this has been spinning counterclockwise since Monday. It's on the Presumpscots River below Bridge Street. And this disc of ice is roughly 100 yards across. And it's just slowly rotating and then gaining size. And nobody knows what's happening there. Last year, or 2 years ago, they spotted a giant snake eating a beaver in that same location. And they've had all of these weird, mysterious snake sightings up there. And they can't figure these out either. But this alien chunk of ice that's in this river.
Why is it an alien chunk of ice?
Because they can't understand what's happening in this river. All these weird acts and these weird animals and this weird shit keeps happening in this river. And they can't figure it out. What's going on or why.
So anytime we can't figure anything out in nature, it's aliens?
Here's what else I'll get to. So there was... Remember the picture I showed you last episode of that giant, it looked like a fucking turd, like a long flat turd that had been smashed down like a cow patty. Okay. And everybody was saying this was the spaceship, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's been spotted in other countries. It was spotted over this country, and everybody's like, what is this thing hovering over? 4 of these popped up in 4 different states over the weekend. And the government on the first 2 had said, oh, it was a discharge in the air of this radioactive mass that's supposed to block out like, spy satellites or some bullshit from China. And you're just like, what? So they explained that for the first 2, and then 2 more were spotted later on in the weekend. They were like, what the fuck are these? Same shape, same size. They're in 2 different states now. So a total of 4 over the weekend. What's going on? Like, what the fuck? And it's not like it's over Washington, D.C., where it's like, all right, maybe I could buy that theory if we're spraying some shit in the air to try to block out, a missile hitting D.C. or something like that. I think all of this is getting too close at this point. And remember that celebrity psychic said this year, something's going to land.
Okay.
Something's going to land this year.
And when it does,
You don't find it odd that suddenly China just sent up a thing to the moon a couple weeks ago to go to the dark side of the moon? Mm-mm. You don't find that weird at all? Like that we keep sending shit into space now where it's like, all right, cool. Why since what, 1969?
Yeah, I do find it odd. I just don't know what the answer is.
The answer is fucking aliens, James.
Okay.
And there's life forms out there, and we've got to be prepared for all of this shit, whatever's going to happen, or us living on other planets. Now, the Chinese thing was awesome to me. China, again, just doing it, man.
Always doing it.
Just doing it. We used to do it in the 60s. They passed us, man. They sent one of those rovers to the dark side of the moon. That's never been, no one's ever been there before. Mm-hmm. And it landed. They got some awesome photos of it. Looks great. Where you're just like, holy shit. Yeah.
They are good at photos, the Chinese.
Oh, yeah. Always have been. Always will be. Best in the biz. Especially taking pictures of their food. Yep. I love it.
Oh, crystal clear.
Every single time. So this footage that they had, that came back, crystal clear. Where you're like, oh, my God, congratulations, you did it. It's weird, though. Like, you had the photos of, like, Neil Armstrong and Buzz and all those guys on the moon, Now they're on the dark side of the moon with this. Obviously, technology and photos have changed in 50 fucking years, and it looks nicer and better, but it looked identical to what I thought it would look like.
Okay.
But if you're going to tell me that you're now just starting to do all this stuff
for no reason,
just to do it at this point, I kind of find that hard to believe if all of this other shit wasn't happening over and over and over again, where I think things are getting closer. Look, we're certainly getting closer to other planets and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We're looking to send up another thing to Mars and actually land on there. I think it's Elon Musk.
Yes.
It's SpaceX. And I hope this, because somebody stole a picture of it. They shot, it was a fucking chick too. And like tights, like workout tights. Did you see the photo?
No, what were they doing? Stealing a...
She was just like, oh my God, look at the new Elon Musk shit. And I'm like, is this really what we're doing now in the world? The hilarious thing about this is he built it to look like the old school comic book renderings from like the 50s of like, man is going into space. And it's like the thick silver padding on the outside, and it's got the pointy top, and it just says USA on it. And you're like, there's no way that's real. And then he confirmed, he was like, yeah, that's real. That's the test one. And then we're doing, the other one. And I love that guy, by the way. Big fan.
So great.
Big fan of that guy.
Yeah.
And the fact that he made it to look like that just because he can is fucking hilarious to me. Like I saw China's, the one that they launched, and it was,
super sleek,
almost
expensive,
like a Tesla. And yeah. And you're just like, all right, cool. He built it to look like a comic book, like from the 50s of like, man is going to space.
Yeah, that's the best. You like look through the little window.
Yeah, it was great. But they're going to land one of those fuckers on the Mars. I think next year is what he said. I know we have the rover up there now that's been sending back shots, and that looks what I thought it would look like as well. But again, all of this, I think, is to set up little radios and pings to get all of the shit that's out there.
Little radios, yeah.
That the government isn't telling us about.
Little radios and tin hats.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jessie.
What? That's how you communicate, right? The little radios and the tinfoil.
Man, I don't know. I don't even know where you get this. Why you refuse to believe that this is out there? What's the explanation for all of it? What's the explanation?
I don't know what the explanation is. They'll tell me when they're ready.
Where do you think we go when we die?
In the ground or burnt up?
Just gone.
Yeah.
You're just gone and that's it. No heaven, no nothing, no whatever.
I guess I'd like to believe that your spirit can kind of hang out with your family and stuff, but that's just a belief that kind of gets you through the day.
Right.
I'm not sure if it's real.
Reason why I bring this up is I was up late working last night. I throw some podcasts on in the background.
Okay.
Again, I'm super into video podcasts now.
Yeah.
I find it more enjoyable now more than ever.
I think a lot of people are. Netflix is hiking up their price, so get on the YouTube. Watch TV.
Oh,
there.
yeah. Well, YouTube is now, half of its premium. It's only a matter of time before they flip as well.
It's true, but for now.
Fuck off. Yeah. But I actually like watching podcasts versus the news and shit anymore. I used to keep like the news or something on in the background. In late night shows, I used to watch all of the late night shows. I was a late night show junkie, and everything is so political now across the board.
Or PC, yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm speaking about all forms, like Fox News, CNN, all of it. I just don't watch any of it. I would rather just listen to two interesting people talk about weird things in the world.
Which one were you getting into?
Well, it flipped on YouTube. So you know how sometimes a video will play right after another video?
Yeah.
So I was uploading our show actually last night, super late. And it was Theo Vaughn at first, and then it flipped to like Rogan has clips like of just interesting shit that he talks about. And he was talking about the afterlife with Kevin Smith.
Okay.
And Kevin Smith said his mom had actually died for a minute and a half, like her heart stopped beating and all of that stuff. Because he had a heart attack, and I guess he was thinking about
what happens to you.
Yeah, what happens to you afterwards. And so he sat down and talked to his mom about it.
Okay.
And his mom said, I don't know where I was going, but I can tell you this. That is the only time I felt free in my entire life, where I felt like I was floating, and it was incredible. I didn't have one worry in the world and all of this shit for like a minute and a half. Great. And she goes, I felt like I was floating up to somewhere, and then I get yanked back once they brought me back to life or whatever, right? And it got me thinking about that, where, I think, and we've talked about this once or twice before. I don't know if we talked about it on air. We've had a couple of people with death experiences like that, and they always say they see their family members and all this other shit, and it's just like, man, I don't know what to believe, but
well, so DMT, right, is trying to recreate that whatever gets released in your brain when you think you're gonna die. So there's a chemical like serotonin, oxytocin, something like this that gets released when you're about to die, and you just like trip out, right? So that's what DMT is chemically trying to mirror. So when you take DMT and you like just trip out and you're just like go out there,
right?
I think that's what explains how everyone feels this same thing when they have almost died and come back,
right?
So I think it's because you're not dead where your body's not secreting any adrenaline, things like this, right? So you're not completely dead, your heart has stopped, blah blah blah, but you have that burst of DMT. I'm just calling it that because it's how to explain it, but that's what I would explain as far as those things where you're like, because you're just tripping out on it. And it's a mechanism, because our bodies are amazing. It's a mechanism that probably helps you deal with your death easier. So it's just something that has evolved in us, right? That when you are about to die, so that you're not freaking out or you're not like experiencing your death, this chemical gets released into your brain that gives you a trip. to death.
Gotcha.
But that's it.
Mm.
So when people do it and come back,
Right.
they've gone on the trip a little bit, but they haven't ended it.
I gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I don't know if you live in that floating state, So, and it is an explanation of why everyone has that same story.
Yeah.
I was floating, I was going towards the light, I was whatever.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people's acid trips are the same too. Where it's like, I saw this, because it does a lot of things chemistry wise to your brain that are the same.
Yeah. The reason I bring this up is, again, the way everything is shaken out, and even at the top of the show, like with the McDonald's thing and everything else, the Gillette thing, all of this shit, like the way everybody's getting so offended, the way the world is. And they asked Judd Apatow, who was on Today's Show, I think yesterday, about the state of comedy right now and what jokes are, what you can and can't tell anymore. And he basically danced around the subject and just said, it's got to be this and this and this. And it's like, dude, if you have to explain comedy,
the fucking
none of that. But if you have
ambassador, by the way,
if you have to explain comedy to people, then mentally as a comedian, you would have to structure every joke to try to not offend someone who can be offended by anything. It's impossible. That's why we don't give a shit about anything on this show. And the reason I bring up this, this story about this Kevin Smith thing and everything else is I am to the point now, me personally, where I would rather just sit down and listen to two people or a few people chat about weird things that they're thinking about in life versus whatever we're being force-fed along this media train that we're on currently.
Well, we want to relate to people. We don't want to be told by these people that are living in a bubble in either New York or LA, how our lives are. We want to listen to people that are actually living life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's hard to, that's why I like podcasts. Yeah. It's people that are real. They'll say things that I'm like, yeah. In particular, these video shows, man, they're always like now they're on in the background all the time where it's just like, all right, cool. When you can see somebody talk about a conversation or whatever, like I thought that, that Rogan with Theo Vaughn was super weird. But if I didn't see Joe Rogan smoke up a huge ass joint, and like have whiskey on the table
before going on air, then I wouldn't have understood. I would have been like, what the fuck?
Why is he being so weird? Yeah. Yeah. And Theo Vaughn is sober. So he's quick and Joe Rogan's slow. And it's just like he's been on before and it didn't click then either because I think Theo Vaughn is hilarious.
Yeah, he's great.
He just keeps getting better on his own show and with Brendan. But like somehow with Rogan, they just hit a wall. Because it's someone that smokes a bunch of weed and is super slow with someone that's sober and quick.
Yeah.
And it's not working. But Joe Rogan doesn't care.
No,
he'll sit there and fucking smoke weed while you tell your little jokes.
Yeah. Doesn't
Good.
Care. Yep. No.
Keep going, funny boy. I've given you the platform, right? I'm just hanging out. He doesn't care about ruining a show or it not really working out.
Why I enjoy it. Why I enjoy it and why I enjoy podcasts.
Yeah. To go back to the Judd Apatow explaining comedy. I keep seeing this George Carlin quote everywhere that's like, can't remember exactly how it goes, but he's saying comedians, it's our job to find the line. So comedians are the line finders. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So you can't be mad at them for trying to find the line. They're trying to find it for all of us. And when they get there, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Right? But you can't fault them for finding it. That's their job.
By the way, I like looking at all of this shit now. Everybody asks, why Hollywood's not making comedies anymore. Part of it's because they don't do well overseas, which I've stated numerous times in the past.
Yeah.
But the other part, I think now, is probably every studio is examining these scripts and just with a fine-tooth comb of 16 executives, where they're like, oh, you can't say this, you can't say this, you can't say this, you can't say this. I'm going through it now with a rewrite on a book that I'm just like, And
in 5 years, it'll be completely different.
I don't think it will. I don't think it's going to, I think
it'll calm down a little bit.
I think, because once you get used to this, Once you get used to all this overreacting and all this shit, then it's ingrained in you. And like you find yourself throughout the day saying, oh, man, I wonder if that's
going to cause a problem.
Yeah, could so-and-so say that's his... I never used to think about shit, nor did I care.
Right.
Nor did I care. It's getting weird.
It's getting weird out there.
And I don't think it's going to change, by the way. I really don't.
Okay.
With this government shutdown that's going on right now, and both sides hating each other and just being fucking ridiculous. Like, 'cause the Democrats won't even come. There was a meeting, there was a lunch yesterday of like, hey, everybody, let's chat. And they were like, no, fuck you. Trump's supposed to do a State of the Union address, and Nancy Pelosi goes, I don't think you should do this during the shutdown. Why don't you just turn it in writing and we'll release it to the press? It's just like, you're such a fucking cunt.
Fuck you, dude.
I'm like, the other part about it is, to me, all of this, the government shutdown and nobody bending or meeting halfway, like, look, if he wants $5 billion for the fucking wall, which I think we do need border security, counter and say, hey,
counter offer. That's all you want.
We'll pay 2.5. How about that? We'll be good.
We'll do this much in these places.
Yeah.
Sure. All he wants is a counter, and they will not even.
No, not entertain it. And I don't think it's helping their cause either at all.
No, it's not, because
you look at it and you're like, all right, because right now you've hired we have hired, elected, whatever you want to call it. When you vote, you're essentially hiring somebody to run the country. Right now, you elected a guy who got in because he was an outsider, he wasn't a politician, to break the system and try to change shit, right? Now he's in, and he's in this gridlock. Now this gridlock's being even more exposed. So all the shit that he said while campaigning is literally turning out to be true, where you have all these fucking people in there who just don't do anything.
Right.
And, Nancy Pelosi bitching about shit, like, she's getting paid.
Yeah.
The government workers aren't, but she is.
And it's weird to hear them say he will not budge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The shutdown is all his fault.
Yeah.
And him saying, I just want a counter offer. We won't even entertain it.
Yeah, exactly.
But how did he just keeps to his word, and we hate that. You know what I mean?
So
I don't know, whatever.
Where it's all headed after this, with all this other shit, like, I don't think any of this is going to get better. No. Comedy, all of the stuff, like, we'll be doing this show forever.
Right. Well, that's a cool way to look at it. Cool.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to get better.
I don't think it is, do you?
All right. Well, cool.
Honest answer. Do you think it is?
I do think it's going to calm down a little bit. I do think the line's going to be pushed to where people are like, all right, we've had enough of this shit, because there's already little twinges of it I see, again, on the Today Show, which is classically like, we go with everything liberal. So I see them kind of going against stuff and having their own voice as far as like, dude, no, this is not.
But if you would,
I see it a little bit.
If you would have told me Gillette would have done an ad like that, I would have told you to go fuck yourself. There's no way. Not a product geared towards men, and that's what
I think it's a good sign, though, that all of the things that they were saying and that whole ad is getting negative press from both sides. I think it's a good sign, because maybe like a year ago, it would be like, oh, yes, finally, right? Yeah. Me Too. Well, it's been a year of Me Too, and I think people are
2 years. Yeah, we're getting on 2 years with that. So,
but you know what I mean? I see it. So we have different opinions on that, but I do see it kind of people getting fed up a little bit and finding their own voice within that liberal craziness and being like, oh, that's just trolls. We're actually,
No, I don't. And look, either way, we're going to be here, so I don't give a shit. So you can always pop on over to Ross Patterson Revolution.
Bam.
Listen to some real homies.
Bam.
It's ma'am. It's ma'am. And get the real shit.
Get the revolutionary figure.
Oh, are we there yet already? Man,
I love you guys, but
we're just chatting along.
We're just chatting along.
Like nothing is going on in the whole wide world. The whole wide world.
Come on, everybody.
And come on at it. Revolution figure of the day. I'm gonna give this to I'm gonna give this to Lamar Hunt, the owner of the Kansas City Chiefs. I stated incorrectly on my other show that the Chiefs had never won a Super Bowl. And look, it was in 1970. I was not born. I was nowhere near close to being born at that point.
No.
They had won a Super Bowl. No, you're. I'm not
no excuse.
I'm not from Kansas City, and I'm saying this because I'm going there, and I apologize.
Sure.
But what happened was, this is kind of tricky. There was an NFL and an AFL, which was another league. They ended up combining. 1970 was their first like technical Super Bowl where the AFL played the NFL, and it was the Super Bowl. They also played in Super Bowl I, then they lost. But in the modern era, they have not played. And the owner of the Chiefs actually was the one who got the leagues to merge and is really put on what has been the Super Bowl of today. He's passed away since, and his wife. They've had this in the family for years and years. His wife is actually running the team. So she will be there Saturday or Sunday. And that guy, to do all of that shit, to combine it, man, is pretty remarkable. And I apologize that I forgot about the 1970 Super Bowl winning Kansas City Chiefs.
I can't believe you. I can't believe you.
You want to talk about just forgetting history or not knowing enough about it? Like, completely guilty of it. I was completely guilty of it. It was like, that didn't happen in my era, so I didn't know.
Sure.
And all I keep thinking about was after that mistake, and I corrected it towards the end of the show, but some Kansas City fans got on me, I was like, man, if I don't remember that, and, you know, our parents or whoever was alive watching that and shit at the time, like, will our kids know about the greatness of Michael Jordan or Magic Johnson or, you know? Probably not.
Probably not.
That's depressing to me.
Well, who's there going to be? They're going to have a guy.
They are going to have a guy. But probably the greatest was Michael Jordan, and, you know.
And if they get into it, basketball or whatever, they'll know.
One would think, but I didn't know. I am retardedly into football, and I did not know that the Kansas City Chiefs won the 1970 Super Bowl. That blip on the radar for me. I know about the frozen tundra at Lambeau Field and the coldest game of all time, which I might be the second coldest game of all time, but I didn't know that they won the Super Bowl in 1970. So I apologize, Chiefs fans.
You're forgiven. And
I'm looking forward to all that Arrowhead is bringing me this weekend. For Jesse Wiseman, a.k.a. the Jables, play them pianos, Jabes. I am Ross Patterson. This is The Revolution. Good night, everyone.
Good night.